system in the body today. How we're going to go about that is we're going to start off with a subtle vinyasa flow practice, and then we're going to move into our ball therapy, target larger muscle groups and give them a big release, okay? So how we're going to start today is we're just going to go into child's pose, stretch out the back, and then we're going to slowly move up into our standing practice where we'll begin our Surya Namaskara A, which is Sun Salutation A, okay? So let's get into position. Onto the hands and the knees. Hope you're all doing well today. It's a beautiful day where I am. You're going to take it back, so widen the knees and the legs, hip distance apart, and push into your yoga mat to help the traction of your hips. Move back towards your heels. Be here for a few breaths. You can choose to hold the head up, or you can bring the forehead towards the floor. Breathing in here. Really expand through the rib cage and exhale down to the lower belly. And really start to press into the mat to keep the hips drawing back so you can get a nice stretch in your quadriceps and through the lower back, upper shoulders. We're going to get a little bit into the triceps while we're here, so we'll make it be multi-purpose for us today. We're going to cuff the hands together, okay, in a prayer-like position. And you're going to pull and slide the pinky side of the arms forward. You should feel this in the latissimus, so right along the side of the upper shoulders and under the armpit region. Then you're going to take the hands right on the lower neck. Okay? You can walk your elbows forward more and press down into the mat with your elbows, and you should feel this stretch through the triceps. And if you're getting enough of it, you're going to also feel it down the side of the rib cage. Okay, you need to press down in order to get that, so engaging the belly as well. Take a breath in here. Really awkward area to try and stretch, but the comfortable position. Target this area can be a little bit challenging. You will get it in downward dog, but not to this extent. Really want to get right underneath side body, right deep into the rib cage. And one more breath, simply like this. And then we're going to release out of there. Nice and calm. For some of us, that could be a really big deal, and for others, not so much. We'll just see where we're at. And before we come into our down dog, bring the knees together. Keep the hips risen. And then you're just going to walk the hands out as far as you can with the hips elevated, okay? Then you're going to increase this stretch through your shoulder blades, underneath the armpits. I mean, if you're in it, you're going to feel it, and it's going to feel great. So for all my bodybuilders out there that had arm day, do some of these stretches for yourself. Press the forehead into the mat. Spread the fingers nice and wide, shoulder distance apart with those arms. Couple more breaths. Getting deep down into those shoulder blades, the upper back. Lastly here, we're going to get into the pectoralis. Walking the hands back nice and slow, because this is a big stretch to the upper back, okay? Again, might be more intense for some of us than others. Now we're going to go and just get into the pectoralis along the bicep, right? Come down onto the stomach. Okay? You're going to lengthen your left arm out to the side off the shoulder, okay? So it looks like that. Then you're going to take your right hand, tent the fingers, legs are straight, right knee bends, and then you're going to push with your right fingertips over to the left side. And you will see how you're going to feel the stretch through the front of the pec, through the deltoid, and down through the bicep. Okay? Rest your head down, toes just tapping towards the ground, and you have this control to anchor and release as much as you want with this tented hand. Okay, so the tented push you a little bit more. Now we're not here going for some crazy intense stretch. Simply putting ourselves into the position, feel the release in areas that you might not be stretching. A couple more breaths. And I'll show you this on the back side body. Very slowly, bring the knee up and bring the hips forward facing towards the mat. Nice and easy, unwind that arm. Okay? Hands under the chin, take it out. And do the other side, and then we will begin our sun salutation. Remember, this practice is about building the energy, boosting the immune system, and getting a little bit of therapy in those larger muscle groups. Target those with our therapy balls. So the right hand comes out, tented fingers. Your left hand tense by the shoulder, bend the knee, point the toe, roll over. See how you're stretching the bicep. Right hand just lying flat, spread fingers. Control the anchor of the movement with the tented left hand. More breaths just like this here. And slowly unwind the left leg. Hips come forward facing. And hands under the chin. A little bit. Okay. And work our way into downward facing dog. Lifting the chest. Bring the hips back. You're gonna tuck the toes. Then you're gonna lift the hips up. Your arms are shoulder distance. Palms are shoulder distance. Pressing into the tips of the fingers with spread hands. So your hand is a big high five. Okay? Legs, hip distance. Spread the toes. And we're lifting the abdomen into the body, okay? We're not sitting in the back, hanging out in the hamstrings, all right? We're lifting, so everything is nice and controlled. You got the weight even through your arms and your hands, and the weight is even through your legs and your feet, okay? Little bit of buoyancy in the knees. Couple more breaths here, and then we'll come into standing.
Almost ready, Braylon.
Use our downward dog to the best of our ability. Okay, so lift the heels up, stretch out the arches in the feet. If you're comfortable with it, go onto the tops of the toes and stretch out the top of the foot into the ankle joint, okay? Only if you're comfortable with it. It feels really good. Then we're just gonna lift the heels up and draw the heels to the right, getting into the lateral left side. Maintain even weight through the arms when you draw the hips over to one side. Spiraling through center over to the left. Okay, and you can feel, you can see visually where the stretch is happening. Feel the tautness in the skin. And through center. Turn your toes out and your heels toward each other and press the hips up, and you're gonna feel this stretch down the side of the thighs in toward. For all my runners out there, you wanna stretch the IT bands. Stretch the outside. A lot of stress there. Our runner friends. Woo. Good. And right from this position, you're just gonna go into a little squat. So heels lift, knees go out, and your hips draw down and back. Swing the hips side to side so that you get deeper. Downward dog. Walk your feet slowly towards your hands. We're gonna go up to standing.
Just seconds more.
Come right into a spinal extension with a heel lift. Exhale the heels down, pull forwards. Inhale, press through the feet, engage the legs, engage the abdomen, arms come up. And exhale, equal standing, your Samasthiti, where we'll begin our meditation. So we're gonna do 3 of the A and 2 of the B. Then we're gonna move through some standing postures with a little bit of a sequence in there and moving right to the floor, getting into our ball therapy. So you're gonna need to have 2 balls, a block, blanket, and a positive attitude. All right, inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forwards. Tip the weight slightly forward. Use your hands, the strength of the hands, to draw your chest towards the thighs. Relax your head, please. Inhale and extend to spinal extension where you're engaging the abdomen, protecting that lower back, and shining the heart forward. Exhale, fold, step back, right leg into the left leg into a plank. So you're hovering into your plank. Anchor the tailbone towards the heels gently. Bring the weight forward onto the tips of the toes and put your shoulder blades on your back to strengthen and protect the upper shoulders. Then you're gonna hover about a foot from the floor, up and over the toes, upward facing dog. You can get a really good stretch through the front of the abdomen wall. Lift through the core, roll through the shoulders, the belly, up and over the toes, downward dog, 5 breaths. Relax your head. Move around as you choose. Last breath. Bend the knees, bit of momentum, step forward, feet towards the hands. Come into your Ardha Uttanasana, spinal extension. Exhale, Uttanasana, and fold forwards over the legs. Inhale, rise up to the asana, arms overhead.
Oh, I cut off your head.
And exhale, equal standing balance, Samasthiti. Let's go for another round. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, spinal extension, really unwinding through each vertebrae. Exhale, fold, step back, plank. Right and left leg. Set it up for Chaturanga Dandasana. Shoulders are nice and rolled back. Inhale for upward facing dog. Exhale for downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. Breathe in. Exhale deep down into your belly. Lifting up the pot, the internal pot. Remember, you can move around, stretch and benefit in posture. What your body's asking. And bend your knees. Exhale. And on your inhale, bit of momentum. Step forward, feet to the hands. Bring to your spinal extension. Exhale and pull forward. Inhale. All the way up. Exhale. Samasthiti. Last one for Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward. Inhale, final extension. Exhale, step or float back through your Chaturanga Dandasana, 4-limb staff pose. Hover. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Pause, 5 breaths. Bend your knees. On the inhale, the momentum, come forward. Lengthen the torso. Exhale, fold forward. Sandwiching the ribs over the thighs. Inhale, come all the way up, arms rise. And exhale, namaste. So now we're going to go into Surya Namaskar B, and we're going to do 2 sets of that. So come into your Utkatasana like you're going to sit back into the chair. Go as deep as you can. Press and spread into the feet. Hug the thighs toward each other. Drop the hips. And then come up partway with a bent set of knees. Press the hips forward, lengthen the tailbone, and lift through the torso. Push through the feet. Come up and exhale, fold. Your time. Inhale, spinal extension. Exhale, fold to prepare Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Pivot the left foot slightly on an angle and lunge the right foot between your hands, setting up for warrior 1. 1 breath cycle. Take your vinyasa. Swing sides. Pivot the right foot. Lunge the left foot between the hands. Lengthen up with equal weight through the leg. And exhale, cycle through your vinyasa. Five breaths here in downward dog. Remember to always check in about your form. Where you feel the contraction. Make sure that you're breathing. Prepare to come forward, bend the knees, exhale. On the inhale, you can step or float forward. Come right into your extension. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, Utkatasana, sit deep into your chair pose. Pause with bent knees. Come up. You can see how that one gets the heart rate up a little bit more. It's a little bit longer. We're going to do 1 more set of Surya Namaskar B. Prepare. Inhale, chair pose. Utkatasana. Benefit by just going as deep as you can into those hips. Press through the feet, bent knees, hips go forward, lengthen the tailbone, and rise up through the spine. Stand up and pull forward. Inhale, spinal extension. Exhale, fold, float back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward dog. Right into warrior 1. Pivot the left foot. Lunge the right foot forward. Pronounce the feet down evenly. Lengthen up through the legs of the torso. Even weight through the legs. And cycle through your vinyasa, switching sides. Pivot the right foot. Lunge the left foot between the hands. Warrior 1. Rise up for a breath. And cycle through the vinyasa. Five breaths. Downward facing dog. Bend the knees, exhale. Step and float forward, feet towards the hip. Right into your extension. Exhale, fold forward. Down. Asana. Pause. All the way up. Exhale, thumbs to a moment just to catch your breath. If you want to take a sip of water. But build that energy, boost that immune system. We're going to come into a series of warriors. Okay? Here, a step, right leg open. Okay? I'm going to pivot the back of the mat, so the right foot's facing the back of the mat, and the left foot's on an angle. You're going to come into Virabhadrasana Warrior 1 for 5 breaths. Arms can go up. Okay? Could be knee on the floor, hands on the hips. Okay? Or you can bring your hands together. Okay? Really like, I'll give you a couple tips. Lunge into the front leg, knees in line with the shin and the second toe. Okay, so take a little look at that. Make sure that your knee is not collapsing in, that you're drawing the knee in a middle position. Okay? And it's like a slight resistance against the outer side. Back foot, it's nice and flat, press into the big toe, and spread across all 5 toes, and make sure you get that pinky side toe ridge down. Okay? Then you're gonna really use this back leg like a kickstand to kind of wind you up and stabilize you. Now, if you're having a little bit of trouble getting the hip forward, your thumb right to your gluteal fold and pronounce the direction. Help your hip go forward facing. Okay? And then the arms come up 5 breaths. A little bit of tips. Massage the feet into the mat. Really press down and lift up. Not arching your back. Fill up your back. Strong core. Okay? Good posture. And exhale, release the hands, pivot the feet. So now that the left leg is going to go forward to the front of the mat, right foot's on an angle or you're on your knee, same things are going to apply here. Let's go for 5 breaths. Pick the one that works for you. And coming to step forward, feet together. From here, you're going to go into Warrior 2. Okay, so again, right leg's going to step back. You're going to pivot both feet forward. Then the right foot's going to go towards the back of the mat. Okay? You're going to lunge, a little bit of a wider stance here. Lunge into that right leg. Same thing here. Knee, shin in line with about the second toe. You got a little bit of resistance moving out, not drawing the knee in. So put your hand behind the back of your thigh and kind of push against the hand so you have that stability and that understanding. Left leg, toes face forward, nice and strong. Hips are forward, arms go off the shoulders. Spread the fingers nice and wide, and you gaze over your front right fingers. 5 breaths, really engage the core here. Lengthen the tailbone, lift up through the crown, soften the palate in the mouth, and have your hips opening. Massage the feet right into your yoga mat. Strengthen the right leg, bring the toes forward, left toes go towards the front of the yoga mat, and you lunge. Okay? Same things apply here. Gaze over the left shoulder. Out through the fingers. 5 breaths. Stay strong. Arms come down to the hips. You're going to step the back leg forward to the front of the yoga mat. Big step there. Now we're going to come into exalted warriors. Similar to Warrior 2. Step the right leg back. Okay. Toes are going to open the front of the mat. Left leg is going to stay forward with a nice lunge. You're going to either take your hand to your waistline and simply draw the arm up, okay? Or you can reach back towards the side of your thigh. The arm can come up, and or you can choose to tilt back and get more of a opening through the lateral side of the left body as you increase the lunge through your front leg. 5 breaths. You can even cradle the back of your head, which also gives you a nice stretch through the armpit and into the latissimus around the pectoralis region, okay? So you get a good stretch in your armpit socket as well. You can choose. 4 more breaths. Play around, try something new in the position. And release. Sides. Lunge into the right leg. Lunge into the left leg. Same things apply. You can hold the hip, back of the head, arm can go up, and or you can tilt. 5 breaths. Nice strong core. And releasing that. From here, we're just going to take a wide leg forward fold stance. With both feet are facing forward, you're going to have a nice wide stance here. Hands are going to go to the waistline. You're going to lift up. As you exhale, come slightly forwards. You're going to take your arms behind your lower back. Maybe you just want to hold the hands together, okay? Maybe you want to hold the elbow creases. As you come down, let your shoulders roll back and away from your ears. If you're able to take your arms away from the body towards the floor, go ahead. 5 breaths. Tip the weight slightly forward and don't put pressure on your head here, please. As you breathe in, let your shoulders relax, so as you exhale, the weight of the arms can dump towards the floor and increase the stretch to your shoulders, your range of motion. Let the head relax. And slowly bring the arms down on the back. Take your hands to your waistline as you come up, softness, and then press through the feet. And step forward towards the front of your mat. We're going to take a vinyasa between sides for Virabhadrasana warriors. 5 breaths on each side. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale and extend. Exhale, fold. Step or float back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward. Exhale, downward facing. Warrior 3. To lunge the right foot forward between the hands. Okay. Get the weight forward on the front foot with a little bit of softness in the knee. Drive the foot into the mat and suck up through the waistline, okay, through the core. Back foot, notice I'm not pointing my toe. Flat foot like I'm going to kick the wall, okay? Now you want to take either this position for 5 breaths, okay? You can either take your hands to your waistline. Arms could go forward out through the crown, or you could be back or airplane. You take your choice. 5 breaths. Be strong. Turn your big toe toward the floor so that you angle and engage the inner thigh. So the toes should be facing the floor, not turned out on the pinky side facing up. Okay? Try that out. Nice and strong. Engaging those back muscles as well. Last breath. Hands come down. Back leg reaches back, and the front leg's going to come into a plank. This is where you're going to cycle through your vinyasa. Downward dog, left leg comes forward towards the hands. Onto the tips of the fingers and lift the right leg. Remember the foot is flat, and the big toe All 5 toes are facing down, so you're not turned out with your pinky toe facing the ceiling. Rotate the thigh. Engage the inner thigh to get that rotation. Literally, your quadricep be facing the floor. Okay? Little bit of softness into the pronounced leg, the left leg, that's rooting. Root down and suck up through the core. Take the handhold that works for you. 5 breaths. Nice and strong here. Don't sit in your back and don't loosen your belly. Keep everything tight in the trunk. All you're gonna do is step forward, feet together. Up the legs. I'm gonna open up the long side of your mat. A little bit of a wide stance here. And just kind of hula hoop through the hips, the waistline. Be dramatic about it. Holding warrior 3 and warrior stances. Really fire up those leg muscles and those hips, right? Getting into those glutes as well. Really dialing into what's going on. And we're just going to come forward, front. We'll work our way right to the floor. And inhale, the arms come up. Exhale. Boosting the immune system. We don't want to wear ourselves out. Inhale, spinal extension. And exhale, step or float back. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Come down onto the knees, hero's pose. Let your hips draw in between the calves. Okay? So while you sit here for a moment, press into the toes that are into the mat, like spread the top of the foot so that you can hover a little bit, not put a lot of pressure on the knee joints. We're gonna come into a little bit of a series of Bhujangasana, so cobra pose, prepping for that upward dog pose. So you may get there today, you've already been maybe doing that posture with us, and we're gonna really stretch out the front of the abdominals, all right? So we're gonna come down onto our bellies. Actually a really fun way just to stretch the stomach muscles and kind of warm up the back and then alleviate the back, like release it after. So first stage, you can bring the feet together like a tail, or you can have them separated a little bit, okay? Like hip distance. Now you take that choice, whatever's going on in your back and whatever you can maintain. Okay? Now, you want to have your toes facing the floor and press into the toes. Okay, so you got strength in the feet. Strong legs and a slightly loosened set of glutes. So you don't want to squeeze your butt muscles, right? Now you're going to take your hands. The first stage will be on the forearms. Okay? So all that's on the, what's lifting off the floor is your ribs. Your navel is still down. So what happens here in all of the cobras is it's this feeling that you're dragging your body forward along your mat with the strength of your arms, okay? So that's the feeling there. That's how you get the stretch in the abdomen and the engagement in your back. You really wanna also lift into the abdomen wall to protect the lower back so you're not just sitting in the back and like belly. Try this one here. 3 breaths. Come down and pause. If that one works for you, go back to that one for another 3 breaths. If you want some more, we're going to take it up a little bit, right? So this time, everything still applies. All you're doing is lifting up a little bit higher. Now the arms are slightly forward a bit more, and now you're lifting a little bit more off the floor. So here the navel is off the floor, right? 3 breaths. relax. Okay. Next stage, we're gonna go right into upward facing dog, or I'll give you a deeper cobra to do, or you can do one of the first two for another 3 breaths, okay? So, you wanna come up a little bit further in your upward dog or your cobra, but you're not lifting the legs off the floor today, that's fine. You bring the hands a little closer to you, and you will lift the hips off the floor. The thighs are down, but your hip bones are off the floor. So then you can get a sense of what upward dog would feel like, okay? And or you can take your hands right by your rib cage, flex the feet, flex the legs, roll through your upper shoulders, and lift everything off the floor but your feet and your hands. 3 breaths, you take your option. Go. Everything's engaged. Place your knees down, bring your hips back towards your heels. Feels good, right? Okay. Ball therapy. Say what? Yeah, ball therapy. Good times. Bring it right into those glute muscles. Okay, you can stay in your child's pose for a little bit longer if you like. Or you can come right into it. So we're gonna do a few moves and then we're gonna let you start your day. Take a block or a towel or a thick blanket, something that's dense. Okay? 2 balls. Okay? Take tennis balls, take little yoga therapy balls, massage balls, whatever you kind of got that has some give to it, but is not super hard. So please do not use golf balls. Lacrosse balls are too dense, okay? And don't use a baseball. Something like a like a therapy ball. I'm using kids bouncy balls, which is a large size, and or you can use like a tennis ball. Okay? Really don't have any of those things, that's okay. Get a couple pairs of socks, like thick socks, shove them all into a knot, sit on a thick sock. Be creative. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the balls on either side of your gluteus maximus. Gluteus maximus, pardon me, is that big muscle right there on your butt. Okay, so now you know where it is. Sure you already knew. So, one side, and then the other side. Not doing one side at a time. Going into both sides. Balance on it, find that area, find that glute muscle, the big area. Be here. Couple good deep breaths. We're gonna go for 5 slow breaths. Sit up nice and tall, lengthen your legs out, let them relax, and breathe. Wow. May seem boring, but it is effective. If you're actually participating, it is effective, and it's not boring. This energy's like, come on, you're almost there. I'm gonna set you free really soon. And lean over to the one side, whatever side you want. Remove the ball, and opposite, remove the ball. Now you're gonna go right down and get into your pelvis. Okay, so we're gonna double up the balls as well on the heightened block. Lay back. Pelvis on the block, okay? These balls are going on either side of your sciatic nerves. So your sciatic nerves are right where your tailbone is, the starting of your butt, and over to either side of your spine. Okay, you're gonna feel it because it's quite sensitive. Okay, place the balls towards the tailbone on either side of the spine. You will feel those two nerves right there. Then you're gonna lift the legs up with bent knees, okay? And or straighter legs, right above the hips. You choose. Arms down. Close the eyes. Do anything with the feet, just let them relax. 5 deep breaths. Go. You need to breathe into it, okay? You can't have shallow breathing. It has to be full. Wow, I could be here for a while. It's great. This will also help release the gluteus minimus muscle. When you loosen, rejuvenate the gluteus muscles, the 3 main muscles in the butt, you get quite the release and energy flow back through the legs and the pelvis and the digestive tract. So what we're doing is we're building energy, nice calm energy, bend the knees, legs come down, lift the hips, and remove the balls and just relax for a moment. You're also going to get an immune booster because you're going to get that blood flowing through the thicker muscles, okay? Now we're going to go ahead and release the medius, okay, the glute medius. So we'll do 1 ball at a time, right? So you're going to move over to your right side with the block, and you're going to place the ball right here, right where the indentation of your butt is on the side of the gluteus maximus. You'll feel it. Big area. Ooh, mama. You're gonna lie right down on that ball, on the gluteus medius, and you're gonna stack your knees together. Okay? So my legs are off my hips and my shins are right off my knees. So I'm in an L so that I can get the most weight down on the side of the butt muscle, the gluteus medius. And if you did the HIIT skipping workout yesterday, you targeted that muscle in the calisthenics quite a few times. 5 deep breaths. Really expand in that breath. All you gotta do is just take a little bit of time, stretching and some therapy release, and you will be good to go for longer periods of time, pain-free, emotionally pain-free, physically pain-free. They work in unison. Take these tools, share these tools with friends, share this video, like the video, follow us on YouTube, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Lift off slowly. We're gonna go to the other side, okay? The gluteus medius, side of the butt muscle. Put the ball there. Bend the knees, off the hips. Ooh, this one's so hard. Oh, mama. Straight off the hips, down off the knees. So you have that full L so that you can get the most weight down. Lay down. Always put a towel or pillow here for your head, or just use your arm. Sure that you're right on that butt muscle, right on the medius. Whew. 5 deep breaths. Really breathe into it. Great. Slowly release off. Ow. Now, almost done. We're going to come into our Rajapopasana, our pigeon pose, with the balls targeting the side of the hip, okay, into the thigh. Now I'm going to elevate up on a block You can choose that option as well. Now I'm going to use 2 balls, a little bit spaced apart. All right? We'll start with your right leg. Come into like a down dog. You want to take your right shin with the flexed foot right on top of the block with your hip. Okay? So the knee is on a triangle. I'm going to take the balls right on the side of my hip and thigh. Lean into this. See, yeah. Happy. Good news. You just stay upright so you get the most weight going down. Really be quite relaxed with the back leg. You don't have to be in full posture. It's more of a passive posture because you're getting into the muscle. Right on the side of the thigh and a little bit into my hip. 3 more deep breaths. That feels good. Lean right into it. Oh, wow. So I'm only giving you 5 breaths. Let's come out of that. Let's just roll right off of there. 5. So I'm just giving you 5 breaths, but you can do these postures if you can handle it anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes with the therapy balls. You're really gonna feel quite the surge of blood flow coming back down after. All right, left leg's coming in hot. From down dog, chin towards the block, on a triangle, thigh and hip, go on balls. Go be on the other side. Remember, not like in crazy posture here, more passive posture. And then what you want to do is get upright so most weight is coming down. Ooh! Talked about this before, like my left hip, lefty I call it. Really feel.
2,750 followers even.
Thanks, you guys rock. For fun community. Hope that the programs, fitness, fit skipping, total body blast are working for you. Like you're learning things, you're getting results, and it's fun, right? And you're motivated to do it. And with the full body release yoga practices that bringing on a weekly basis, I hope that you're being fulfilled and you're learning things there as well, or you're trying something new, or you're getting back into it, whatever it is that helps you live a healthy lifestyle.
Well, I think the people at Everest Yoga are pretty serious about yoga. There are a lot of followers from India watching it right this week.
Hey everyone.
Good job. Fun job.
You're in the evening time right now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Hope you're having a wonderful evening.
About 10 o'clock.
Hope your gardens are flourishing.
Hope we get out and do some recording today.
And let's come off of this hip. We were there for a little bit longer than we anticipated, but it's therapy, no big deal. Now, all I want you to do is move your block. Move your balls out of the way. Grab a blanket. You're going in for relaxation. Yeah, so you're going in for relaxation. We did a lot in the legs and the hips. Our warriors, our sun salutations. We moved into our ball therapy. So, I want to thank you much for liking and following our Facebook page and showing up on a weekly basis. Also want to thank our YouTube subscribers out there for joining all the fitness, jump rope, yoga, Facebook out there. I want y'all to have a wonderful day. Focus on a really healthy week ahead. Eat good food, grow your food if possible. Lots of water. Remember, nutrition is the largest part of your lifestyle. And your fitness, there's anything between, you know, therapy and yoga and whatever fitness you're doing, nutrition. Okay? Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Please take rest.